DMT only lasts for 6 minutes, but it really seems like an eternity. It releases the same chemical your brain receives when you die. It's a little like dying would be the ultimate trip.
And welcome to the Ultimate Trip, the Mind Your Movies podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm tripping my balls off. No, I'm Shane.
You can be both. It's okay.
Oh no, definitely not. And after watching Enter the Void, I don't think I need to.
Yeah, these are the best like anti-drug movies you could watch, pretty
Well,
much.
definitely Climax.
Yeah.
Enter the Void is like, I don't know. DMT looks kind of cool. There's all the colors and all this stuff.
Anyways, today we're
Anyways,
talking
start the
about
podcast advocating drug use, but I mean, it might
we're
be
talking
cool.
Gaspar Noé, the kind
Yeah,
of I guess is he technically French New Extreme? I don't know. Where does he fall?
he's sort of
Or
associated with that,
yeah.
but he's Argentine, and but he made a lot of his movies in France.
Okay.
But yeah,
Interesting.
sort of edgelord, experimental filmmaker, I guess, is the best
Yeah.
way to describe him.
With a big emphasis on some psychedelics.
Yes, a lot of drugs, a lot of sex, a lot of anything taboo, anything the most
Yeah.
extreme. He's very interested in his movies. And I'm the one who put this in the cup, and
Yeah.
I think he's an interesting director. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Ryan's pissed. Ryan's pissed.
No, I have a
Uh
lot to say. I think there's some positives here. And also, just so everyone knows, for this episode, much like our Hangover and Rocky Horror Picture episode, for this one we're dropping acid before we talk about the.
no, we are not. We are not. We are not. Uh that would just be insane
We
to
could be.
do that. Oh man. So yeah, we're talking Into the Void and Climax. And yeah, we're gonna get into them with full spoiler discussion. It should be plenty to talk about. Should be interesting. Uh yeah, I guess before we get into that, we are gonna do a couple recommendations of some things we've seen recently. Ryan, do you want to kick it off or
Sure, I'll start us off. I just saw, I mean, this is a hot off the press one here. I saw Bugonia on its first night out.
nice?
Um,
I did not see it yet. When we're
well,
recording, this just came out a few days ago.
yeah, and of course during this section we never talk spoilers here, but
Yeah.
this is the new Lanthimos movie. It stars Emma Stone shaved. You know, she shaves her head for this. That's not a spoiler. It's all over everything. So
Oh yeah, poster.
um,
Yeah, yeah.
and also stars Jesse Plemons, and and the idea is that she's like a tech CEO or something like that and gets kidnapped because they think she's an alien. That's like what's in the trailer. It's based on an old South Korea, not old, I guess, early 2000s
2003.
South Korea. And you've seen Save the Green
That's
Planet, right?
exactly. I just watched it like last week for the first time. I had never seen it before, so we can kind of do a
Oh shit.
dual discussion here because you've
Yeah.
seen Begonia, but you haven't seen Save the Green Planet, and
Yeah.
I've seen Save the Green Planet, but I haven't seen Begonia.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Well, I'll say I enjoyed a lot about Bugonia. And also, I think there are parts that I didn't enjoy as much. And I think for people that like Yorgos Lanthimos, this is actually the only Yorgos Lanthimos movie I've seen.
Wait till we pull. I
And
hope we pull Yorgos this week.
and I could say that probably I maybe if you're into him, it hits. I don't know. I think
I don't know. This is
it's
hilarious.
yeah.
The only one you've seen is the only one I haven't seen. There's no crossover.
Yeah.
All
But
right,
I
it's
will
okay.
say there's a lot of really cool stuff that goes on for this movie. And
It looks sick. I'm so excited to see. I'm excited. I
yeah.
wish had been able to see it, but I didn't get to see it. But
Well,
I will hopefully soon. Save the
well,
Green Planet, I will
yeah.
say. I watched it and I watched it on Canopy. So if anyone has Canopy, you can go to your public library and they probably have it. And yeah, it was really good. The ending I did not love. I'm curious if this movie will go the same direction. I don't know. Obviously, I think maybe we just won't say
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
But yeah, there are again really cool elements. I know that in this one, it's like Jesse Plemons and his friend, right? Kidnap Emma Stone.
Cousin, technically. I don't know
Oh, his
exactly.
cousin. Okay. And then in the original, it's actually a guy and his girlfriend, and they
Oh,
kidnap. So that's a little change that I just noticed from the trailer, which is not a spoiler. It's just the basic
yeah.
main characters in the movie. So yeah, it was really good, very creative, well made. There were a few things sometimes in the action scenes. There's a thing. Okay, I also watched this documentary called Wick is Pain. I just watched it. It's about the John Wick series, and it just reminds me how awesome those action scenes are and how it's incredible. It's fantastic. And action scenes in most movies like kind of suck to one degree or another. And in this movie, like there are so many there are not so many action sequences. That's not what I'm saying. In the few moments of action sequences, like people don't act logically almost. Like it's very unclear what their motive is. Like what are you trying to punch me in the face? Are you trying to choke me? Like literally the basics of like, character A is trying to choke character B. Character B should stop that from happening. And then
Mm,
character like when it's like there just feels like they're drawing things out. They're just kind of like weirdly like fake. It just doesn't come off as legitimate. It's a little fake. It just feels like they're dragging it out for like quote unquote suspense. But you're kind of like, what are we doing? That's kind of a nitpick, but that was a little thing. And the movie's fucking wacky and pretty crazy. So the wackiness, I don't know. Some of it didn't work for me. So I think there's room for improvement, but it's a really cool idea. So I am still very excited for Begonia because I think this is a
nice.
movie that could be improved upon.
Nice. Well, I hope that you see it as improvement. I think it would be hilarious. I might try to watch the original, and if you try to watch Begonia, and in our next episode, our
Yeah,
next full episode or whatever, when we're talking, we can do the inverse here. Well, I guess we'll
that
have
would
we'll have all the information at that point. But
there we go. That'd be cool. So subscribe on YouTube and all the Apple podcasts and Spotify and all that, and then we'll do that in 2 weeks from now. But yeah, also, I guess while I was mentioning it, Wick is Pain, the name of a documentary about the John Wick series. They talk about the four John Wick movies. Don't talk about Ballerina at all. Uh, but yeah, it's a new documentary, really good. It's on Netflix now. Came out this year, and yeah, legit, very interesting to see all the behind the scenes of it. If you like movies, if you like the John Wick movies, if you like action movies, 100% worth checking out just to see the dedication and talent and all the effort and resources put into making these movies that we love. So I think it's definitely worth watching. It's about 2 hours long, so it's a little longer for like a behind the scenes documentary, but it covers the whole franchise. So yeah, it's very cool, worth watching, and it's on Netflix. So there you go.
nice, that's awesome. I'll throw in a short here because um, I watched one of Breckage's early shorts, Desist film, and it's 1954. So he's still a student at this time, and he's like very height of his depression, pretty much,
Ah,
and it's I forget, it might be like 14 minutes. Nope, it's like 7 minutes. Have
okay.
you have you seen Desist film?
I have, but many years ago, and if you told me to describe it, I probably wouldn't be able to. So
Yeah.
I, I have
Um,
I have nothing of value to add to this really. But I feel like it's not a fully like experimental abstract thing. Like there are images of humans doing things in it, right? It's just kind
yeah.
of weird and non-narrative a little bit.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be more like what you'd expect from Breckage
Like
and like
moth light and that type of stuff where
right.
it's just literally just colors and images and
Yeah.
non-representational abstract art.
Yeah. And so like almost in an odd way, it's kind of interesting to see something that he did that's like a little more tame. I don't think that it's really a good entry point maybe for Breckage because
Hmm.
it's really not like most of his other stuff other than it has sound, which is odd for him.
Yeah.
So I think though it is an interesting watch. So like if anyone's into like experimental film. I think it's cool. You could, yeah, you know, with most of these shorts, I'm sure you can find it online somewhere. Um, and it's only 7 minutes. Always easy to watch, like a 7 minute thing, and it's got, you know, some layers to it. It's again, it's like peak of his depression. You could definitely see some stuff going on for this poor guy.
Mm, interesting. My favorite of his is Window, Water, Baby, Moving. That's my favorite of his movies. And it is also shots of, it's actually
Mm-hmm.
filmed images. Uh, but it's very, very abstract, and it's him like filming the birth of his first child. I think it's his first child or one of his children. I think it's his first kid. Uh, and yeah, that is probably my favorite one because it is like abstract and experimental, and there's no sound, and it's very, I think there's no sound. Maybe I don't, there could be a soundtrack. I don't remember fully. But but it kind of is in between, like where it's at least images of things
Yeah.
that are not just like colors and light and just stuff flying by on the screen. So it's a little easier to connect to. There's kind of a story of like someone giving birth. There's, life, humanity, themes of human life and all this kind of stuff. So it's not as abstract as other stuff. So that's my favorite one.
It's funny that that's your. Any guess on what my favorite is? Considering, I'll just say it's probably the total opposite. It's like pretty much the opposite.
I don't know. I don't know how many, have you seen a lot of his
I've seen a decent
films?
amount, but I
I have no
think
idea. The exact opposite, I would guess like maybe the moth one, Mothlight.
I do like Mothlight a lot. But
I didn't like Mothlight.
oh, really?
No,
Interesting.
I just looked, I was like it did nothing for me.
That's fair.
I
That's
just
fair.
looked at it and it like went in one eyeball out the other.
the the act of seeing, man. The act of seeing.
The act of seeing,
Uh
is that the
no, sorry, that's like a quote about the but
gotcha. Because
the
he has one that's about autopsies.
that's it actually. Yes,
Oh,
it's the
I
act of
hated that one.
seeing through one's own eye or something like that.
Well,
I think that's my favorite probably. So the opposite of the birth thing is the death thing.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant opposite in style, but
Yeah.
yeah, that is also filmed images, but it's like dead bodies and you see brains and all this shit, and I was like, not for me. So yeah, that one I did not fuck with that one at all. I
Yeah,
like
no, it's
that
crazy.
one. That one, that one was worse to me. I like some of, I don't know. He has like, I think there's one called like Four Seasons. That's pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool. Because also I like that Four Seasons. There's a theme, and you're like, it's winter,
Yeah.
and then now it's spring, and there's something to connect to instead of just seemingly random stuff.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, but yeah, I wasn't into watching the dead bodies and stuff.
Yeah. That's fair. Anyways, honestly, always strong recommendations from experimental shorts in my I feel like the experimental shorts are nice because they're so short that they can be, I think, hit or miss, obviously, right? But I think that they're also short enough where it's like, you didn't like it, okay, so what?
Yeah, you're just able, exactly. Mothlight is like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or something,
Yeah,
and
you
it's
know,
like,
and it's like you'll never see something like it. You know, it's like it's
yeah,
so. I mean, there are other things like it, but like it's so unique and
yeah,
interesting, and you can read so much into some of them.
yeah. And he's
And
very like Jackson Pollock. If anyone is listening and has no idea who Stan Brakhage is, he's like kind of like Jackson Pollock. I feel like very
yeah,
abstract, just like will splatter things on the canvas, kind of a thing.
literally paint on film. So
Yeah, exactly. Yes, literally, some of his stuff is painted on film. Where Mothlight, literally, there's like dead moth
just taped or something.
pieces and like grass and stuff taped onto film, and then you watch it and it just looks like a jumbled mess. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's very open to interpretation, subjective. People can take whatever they want from it, but yeah, that's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
uh all right, cool. I'd Stan Brakhage, I didn't know you were watching any of some of his stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff just from online before, but I actually have the Criterion. So I
Oh,
watched
nice.
Desist film on the Criterion. I watched that on the great. That's the first one. I was like, you know what? I might as well start with one I haven't seen, and it's early in
Yeah,
its stuff. So, um, and I had no idea that it was gonna have sound, and I was like, this is odd that Criterion would like put sound on, but it's also like pretty obvious that it wasn't like a soundtrack. Like they didn't
yeah,
just put on music. So,
yeah,
it was interesting.
yeah. One of his early ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot there. I haven't seen Dog Star Man, which is like his big
Yeah.
thing. But
I haven't seen that one either, but
yeah.
yeah, excited to dive more in
Well,
now that I have the criterion. So
is there anything else you wanted to mention? I have two more.
I've got one more. So you want to take one and I'll
All
go?
right, sticking with some experimental shit. I watched Aggro Drift. Do you know Aggro Drift?
No.
Aggro Drift is a film. Some might say it's a film. Some might not. I don't know. I barely knew what this was. Aggro Drift, 2023, directed by Harmony Korine. For anyone out there, it's spelled AGGRO, as you'd expect, space DR1FT. So there's a one instead of an I. And yeah, this movie looks like it's entirely shot with like an infrared camera. It's like this weird filter is over literally every single shot. And it's like an 80-minute feature. It's Harmony Korine. So he did Gummo, Julian Donkey Boy, Mr. Lonely, bunch of great movies that I love. Spring Breakers, great. This very much feels like an extension of Spring Breakers and the Beach Bum and his like Florida debauchery and sex, drugs, party, violence type of subject matter that he is interested in. But this is like fully experimental, and the first 5 minutes were great. I was like, this is like incredible. I've never seen anything like this. This is kind of amazing. And then there's still 75 more minutes. And it like the story goes nowhere. The the characters stink. It's very uninteresting and not really fun to sit through. And also I feel like the filter on everything, like it does make it a little bit hard to watch for 80 minutes. So it's like a cool experiment. Could have made for a cool music video or something. Travis Scott is also in it, and he's like on the poster, and he's like but he's barely in the movie. He's not even the main character, and he's barely in it. He like has one scene where he talks, and then other than that, it's just some random shots of him. Like this is a movie you put on in the background at a party, and you put on other music over it,
And
and
pop
then
some acid.
I mean, I don't know if I would even recommend that. There is some cool shit in the movie. Like there's because the main character is a hitman and there's like these demons that pop into the world kind of a thing. And there's like interesting ideas. It's just that it was like just pretty uninteresting and like not fully fleshed out. So yeah, Harmony Korine, interesting director, so hit and miss. Also made Trash Humpers, which barely a movie, but is kind of a movie. Maybe Trash Humpers, I would never no, I would never pick it for the show.
It is
Do you
interesting though with aggro drift in terms of like we were just talking about experimental. Like I love a good experimental short. Again, it's like you
yeah,
love it, you hate it, it doesn't really matter. You know, you spent, you know,
15 minutes.
yeah. But spending 80 minutes is rough. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, like you said, like it would have been nice
It
if this was like a 10-minute short.
yeah.
You could get something cool out of it,
And
maybe.
and also the music was like cool, but it was very spacey
Mm,
and just kind of atmospheric, and which is cool in theory, but for an 80-minute feature I needed a little more propulsion, a little something.
yeah.
uh so yeah, it didn't work for me, which is sad. I saw it, I was like, this looks cool, it's on Canopy, so if anyone out there, you can watch it for like 2 tickets. And if you're interested, it is unique. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. Probably will never see anything like it again. And it feels like a movie from the future. Like when you're watching it. A lot of Harmony Korine's like new stuff too. He has a short film that I will recommend called Point Cloud. It's on YouTube and it's a skate video, but there's like all these weird maybe I already talked about it on the show, but there's all these weird like I don't know if it's AI or not. I'm not sure, but there's like filters on it and weird digitization imagery, but it's just also a skate video and it's like 20 minutes long. So that's better than aggro drift, I feel like. But but yeah, anyway, there's aggro drift.
Nice.
Can't highly recommend it.
Well, so I only had one more, but now since we're talking Canopy, I've got one
Ah,
more that I watched on Canopy that's not my final thing. Sorry, but this will
that's
be
fine.
quick. I think a lot of people know this one, but I finally watched Punch Drunk Love.
Oh yeah.
And it's on Canopy for no tickets. So if anyone has Canopy out there,
Oh.
by the way, like I think this podcast might end up becoming the Canopy podcast or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Canopy
It's awesome.
Pod. So
It's
glad that
awesome.
we're finally jumping on that train. Um, but it has a whole section. So if anyone has Canopy, it runs on like a ticket system. So
Hmm.
your public library will give you so many tickets per month, and things will cost a range of tickets. But some of them they have a whole section of just no ticket movies. And Punch Drunk Love is on there for no tickets. And I was like, well, time to break out Canopy for the first time. And I watched Punch Drunk Love, and it was a banger. It was awesome. It was,
Nice.
uh, yeah, it's a masterpiece. If anyone has not seen it, it's like sheer, uh, I don't, it's like anxiety, but also fun and a blast, and it's got a lot in it. So would
Yeah.
definitely recommend.
Oh yeah. Amazing movie. Glad you watched it. Uh, but yeah, that's awesome that it's on Canopy. Out of curiosity, you have Canopy through the Boston Public Library, is that
Yeah,
correct? So how many tickets do you get a month?
we get 18.
Oh, I only get 15.
Ooh, you know, gotta
There
move
you
to the
go.
city, you know?
Got yeah, I mean,
The extra
definitely not worth three extra tickets.
the extra three times your rent.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, but my real last one though
Yeah.
is also a banger, which is so I kicked off Nic Cage November. It's November 3rd
Oh
as
yeah.
we're recording, and I watched Mandy. It's been on my list for a long time. Finally watched it. You were talking about cool action scenes. This movie has some of the coolest kill and fight scenes that I've ever seen, at least Nic Cage in. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, Such a blast. You've seen this one, yeah?
Yes. Awesome movie.
Yeah. It
Like it's like a psychedelic genre movie, action horror, but with Panos Cosmatos' weird aesthetic and vibe.
yeah. And I liked this for a psychedelic movie. Just gonna leave it at that.
There we go. I'll tell you what, Enter the Void, parts of Enter the Void, if you just took parts out of it, it's like some of the greatest shit you've ever seen. It's just that there's like a whole it's there's a lot of other stuff too.
Yeah.
But there are aspects of Enter the Void that are like incredible. So that's why it's such a well, it's worth I'm glad you watched it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad I forced you to watch it. Yes.
Did you
Next
have
up.
anything last to kick it off with?
No, yeah, last thing I wanted to mention, I think I mentioned it maybe last week or something, but I saw a Chainsaw Man movie, the Reza arc, and I rewatched the series, the season one. Such a such a great show, such a great movie, incredible action, just bonkers animation that there's so much going on sometimes, but also a great story. Actually cares about character development and stuff like that. Very funny. Uh, just awesome. Kind of want to rewatch Chainsaw Man like right now. So I might watch it again. We'll see.
This
But
is
yeah.
this is your Frogman.
Chainsaw Man is so sick, dude. You have to watch it. It's awesome. He has chainsaws that come out of his hands and his head.
We got to do an episode that's just Blank Man, and I can do Frogman, and you can do Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, there you go. And then you have to watch the whole series because you have to watch the season one to watch the movie. You can't just jump into the movie. So maybe I'll pick Chainsaw Man this week. We get like 1950s. I'm like, all right, Chainsaw Man. But yeah, Chainsaw
Um,
Man is sick. So yeah, I watched it, loved it.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that was a little bit. I think we had a lot to. I mean, you know what? We watched some pretty awesome stuff these past couple weeks. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Anyways, now it's time to talk about.
Yeah, one awesome movie and one I did not enjoy at all. Uh, but yeah, shout out to Canopy.
Yeah, for
Where
sure.
also Enter the Void and Climax are both on Canopy. So you can watch them there. If you haven't seen them, I would recommend at least watching Enter the Void. Uh, Climax, I probably wouldn't recommend watching, but whatever. I disliked it more than the general population. Seems it's a pretty popular, well-liked movie. So maybe people watch it, make your own decision before we spoil it. But yes, we're going in full spoilers. Gaspar Noé, Enter the Climax, which is just a disgusting title. I mean, but what else are we gonna do? Climax the Void? I mean, that's I mean,
It's
no
it's
good way to
also
go about this.
terrible title, but it kind of works.
It actually is perfect. Yeah, it's a perfect name for the double feature. It's perfect. It's disgusting and it's perfect. And that's Gaspar Noé, isn't it? All right.
Yeah.
So we start with Enter the Void.
And this is your pick.
Enter the Void is my pick. And yeah, so this is my second time seeing it. First time I saw it, I really loved it. I thought it was just I think I was pretty just amazed by the feat of it to have this movie that's literally entirely first person perspective. Like I there are so many aspects of the movie that I love. Uh this second time around, the runtime really got me. I will say it's probably important to bring up when I think we can talk about this that I have the Blu-ray and I've only ever seen the full 161 minute like cut, which is the original version that's released in every country. But there's a shorter version that's about 142 minutes or something that came out in the UK and I think in the US. And then Ryan, you watched it on Canopy and you said it was 137 minutes.
I think that's right. Yeah.
So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what that is.
I'll tell you
But
what. It's a miracle I watched the shortest option.
I'm just curious. Like we'll have to compare things in the movie like that are there versus not there. I'm so curious. But I will say, watching the 161-minute version, I was like, man, you really could have cut like a half hour out of this, and you wouldn't have lost much at all. Like there's so much repetition of beats, and
Yeah.
like it's like, yeah, we get it. We get it. And there's a lot of repetition. The amount of times we have to go back and see Alex in he's like in a new alleyway and then oh now he's somewhere else in a different alleyway still just on the run.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Mm,
amazing that you're saying this because even in the shortest, what might be, I don't know, the shortest option, whatever I watched, right? The
I
Canopy version.
believe that's the shortest option.
Um, there's um there's so much repetition that
Yeah,
I mean, I think like, there's a lot of scenes that you literally see multiple times, right? Like the
the
obviously
car
the car
crash.
crash and the we made a deal, or not, whatever, them making the
Yeah,
promise to each other, and
that one happens twice. Well,
yeah,
like one and a half. They like cut it a little or slightly early, but yeah.
and and I want to say there might have been another, but I forget. But either way, and then you see, yeah, like you said, you see Alex in the alleys a few times,
Oh yeah.
and just a lot of stuff that didn't really feel like it was adding much. And I feel like also, I should say before I get too much into my negative stuff, I'm coming into this I'm coming in a little hot, but also I should say that I actually did enjoy the movie for a long time. I I put it on and I absolutely hated it right away
Oh,
because
oh, opening
the
credits
opening credits are
are awesome.
are like I do not, thank God I don't have epilepsy, but I actually thought that
This was
I might die watching
I,
those credits.
if you could catch epilepsy, this movie would make you catch it.
And I thought to
Yeah.
myself when the credits were going, I was like, the bad news is that I'm stuck here watching whatever this is about to be. And then I said to myself, the good news is that after this, I can I can just pop some of whatever he's having and and pass out. But no, but anyways, after the credits though, you jump into that first person's perspective, and almost right away I was like, oh, this is actually pretty neat. And then, all this, and then
And then there's the trip, which is so fucking cool.
yes, very
Awesome.
like almost feels like 2001-ish, like with the
Yeah.
cool visuals and all that stuff. And even
It,
Tree of Life, right? Like cool surrealist
mhm.
visuals that I
And
enjoyed.
Tree of Life has a lot of stuff that almost appears to be point of view, but it's not less explicit than this.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a lot of similarities there. It also kind of just feels like a video game.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
even the dialogue, the way that he talks, it almost
Yeah.
feels, he's very monotone in a way where it feels so intentional. Like it feels like it's supposed to be easy to put anyone's voice there, kind of, which also you never really, I mean, you do see his face, but even when you're detached from him. You're like over the shoulder. It feels like a third person video game at that point, you know?
Yeah, yeah, once we get to the
Yeah.
next section, it's all like, I guess, well, whatever. It's basically third person on his body, but technically
Right.
I think we're first person from his soul's
Yeah.
perspective.
The out of body experience thing. And even that, I mean, so he gets killed, which was crazy. I did not expect that. And then I mean, it just keeps getting cooler and cooler for a while.
Yeah.
And
And we
yeah,
and
I was
we
vibing with it for sure.
yes, I agree. This opening section is like incredible. I
Yeah.
love it. It's great. Uh there then we go back and in time basically, and actually like this is also a thing where like Alex explains to our main character Oscar that like basically what's going to happen in the movie. He's like, oh yeah, like have you read the Book of the Dead, or you're gonna die, like when you die you basically relive your life and you're able to see your life back, and then you're reborn in a new uh whatever, a new body, whatever,
Yeah, whatever.
reincarnation, the Buddhist idea of reincarnation, basically. And yeah, that's basically what we do. We for the literally almost the entire rest of the movie is reliving the his life up until that point, or and past that point also,
Right.
uh, until the point of reincarnation. It's just the end of the movie. Uh, but yeah, this is where the movie really gets repetitive, and it just didn't. I was not hooked. I was not that interested. Uh, yeah, I really liked when like his soul was like gliding across the city, and we're like going through the buildings, and we're like flying through the streets and between through walls and stuff like that. Really
Mm-hmm.
cool. But the actual scenes themselves really are hit and miss. And
And there's a
like,
lot of them.
yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot.
I agree. Also, I mean, I think I liked the cool effect of like flying through the streets the first time, maybe even the first few times. But then between that and there's these shots, these overhead shots, where it kind of does this like 360
Spit.
spin, you know,
Yeah,
and between that and those and so many scenes just have like a strobe effect that
yeah.
I can survive through for a long time. But between the three of those things, it be
Mm,
towards the like, especially because I was getting kind of annoyed that like it was still going on, and I didn't like at this point I kind of was like I get it, you know, like I don't want
yeah.
to be like yes, I get the point, you know, can we, you know, and between that and just feeling like physically uncomfortable because of the cinematography. I mean, which I liked at the beginning. You know, I think it was a
Yeah.
interesting thing, but as it just kept, I think if there is a 90-minute cut somewhere out there,
Mm,
I would love it. Maybe not. I don't know. I would like it a lot more because
yeah.
pretty much once he gets shot again, you know, you watch him all the way up until that point, kind of reliving everything, and he gets shot, and maybe a few minutes later, it might have been maybe during the cream, I don't know, some point around here, I was thinking to myself, wow, this was pretty cool. You know, I mean, I didn't love everything, but I liked a lot of it. And then I'm like, all right, well, I could almost go to the bathroom and you know, and call it a day and get ready for the next thing today. And then I keep waiting, and then I checked it, and then eventually I just checked the time, and I'm like, I I have an hour left. What the hell is going? Like, wait a second. I'm pretty sure I just watched everything it wanted me to watch, and now. So, anyways, I don't know. So, I liked a lot of it, is what I'm trying to
Mm.
say. And
I Yeah. And then it gets into his sister. I will say, is there an abortion in the version that you saw?
there is, yes, she. Wait, yes, she like does it. No. The doctor.
There's
Yeah, there's
doctors.
doctors doing it, but then I
And
wasn't really sure what was happening, and then later
did
you see the thing. The sorry,
you see the dead
the dead embryo.
baby, dead fetus?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure because I was like, if
yeah,
they cut out like whatever 25 minutes in your version, 25 minutes. So I was like, I wonder what was cut out. Because okay, so there's still a bunch of scenes of Alex in the
yeah,
alleyways when he's homeless.
yeah.
There's still the the dead baby after the abortion.
Yeah, I love
There's
that. That was awesome.
still there.
Jesus
This
Christ,
fucking
dude.
guy. But you liked the fucking autopsy movie. I mean, jeez. I mean, come on. At least this one wasn't real dead bodies. At least it's just a movie. I mean, come on. Um, yeah. So
No, I think
so what wasn't there? I guess you don't know because you don't
I,
know what wasn't there.
I
But
mean, so like, yeah, I mean, I can't even run through. Honestly, one of the things is I just felt so detached from like his sister's whole storyline and all that stuff. I
yeah,
mean, I just stopped caring, and it was like
yeah,
it was a chore, honestly, at that point. And
I
anyways,
get that.
but yeah,
Did
it's hard to know. I don't really know what's missing here for me.
Yeah, I don't know. There's
I mean,
all the
there's the whole thing with the what's his name, the manager guy,
yeah, Mario maybe.
Mario, yeah. And then
Just kind of
there's that other girl that he sees at one point, and he's telling her that that the sister girl is pregnant and everything. There's that scene.
I don't even remember that scene to be honest. There's so
There's so much.
yeah. Uh yeah, and then there's the whole stuff with Victor, who's the guy who rats him out, rats out Oscar and
Yeah.
basically gets him killed, and Oscar fucked his mom.
Yep.
And
The dad hits Victor at one point.
yeah, because Victor's kind of being like a little bitch about it, kind
Yeah, he's yelling at his
of.
mom for sleeping with
Yeah,
Oscar.
it was kind of yeah, and then the dad like smacks him and is like, "Don't talk to your mother that way." And then he's like, "What the fuck? You fuck this kid?" Like,
Yeah. And
that's
then
fucking
there's also some stuff with like the cops trying to get Victor to tell them where Alex is.
yeah. There's a little interrogation sort
Yeah.
of yeah, right.
What the hell am I missing here? Because it feels like whatever they cut out was not
I don't
memorable
know.
here.
I will say one interesting theme in the movie is like fire. Like like we're constant the way the transitions happen is the camera will go into something.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a dead baby fetus in a bowl and it goes into the blood and then it goes out and then there's like some weird trippy stuff and then it goes out. Or sometimes it goes into a light bulb and it's
Yeah.
like white and a little weird and then it comes back to a new scene. But often it was like fire.
Yeah.
Like we go into there's a fire that Alex has, or like a cigarette or joint or something, or also light bulbs and stuff like that. So yeah, I felt like that was a motif, a theme, something going on that maybe is a thing with the Book of the Dead, or also cremation. He gets
Right.
cremated, you know,
Well, and I was gonna say, I
his
wonder,
body.
like, I think of the Phoenix, right? Like rebirth type of thing, right? Fire
Yeah, yeah,
helps, it cleanses, allows for things to be reborn or something, maybe. Um,
yeah. That makes sense.
but
And then, I mean, the end of the movie, there's this guy who's friends with Alex, and he has like a model of Tokyo, and uh,
the Love
and
Hotel,
the Love Hotel is in the model, and then eventually we go inside the Love Hotel, and we're in, I get the real Love Hotel, and Alex, uh, well, there's a bunch of people having sex, and they're doing all sorts of debauchery, and their genitals, there's glowing stuff around the genital regions and then yeah they have sex, Alex and Oscar's sister Linda, I believe is her name.
Linda. Yeah, thanks. That's good.
And and we see an interior shot inside of Linda's body and we see a penis
Yeah,
going in and out, and we see a cum shot and it shoots out, and then we follow this the the semen through into the egg, and then white light, baby cries, Oscar is reborn as his own nephew, end of movie.
yeah.
And
This
there's
is
no end credits. It just says, oh, it just says the void, and then it's over.
this is the cherry on top. You make me sit through this whole thing, and you end it with literally blasting me.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty awesome, huh? But you have to respect the audacity of this movie to just be like, I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
like, no one will like this. Everyone will hate this. This is the worst taste possible. We're gonna see a dead baby after an abortion. There's gonna be all sorts of sex scenes. Also at one point we see Mario's penis, which appears to be a very fake penis, but we see his penis. But anyway, so there's a lot of anything that's taboo. He's like, yep, put it in the movie.
Yeah.
Put it in the movie. And yeah, that is I also do I
Mm.
enjoy watching that? No. But the sheer creativity of it how do you even think of that in putting it in the movie? I mean, and also if you take away our disgust at the imagery and everything, it is just the act of creating a human life, right? Like if you were able to view it from an outside perspective, that's how human life is created. So I guess you that's one way to show it.
Yeah. In a way, I mean, I think part of like the ob- obtuseness or like abrasiveness in a way of it feels kind of it reminds me of kind of how I felt I think watching the Holy Mountain. Although I felt
Mm,
more confident that rewatching, I don't remember if I said this at the time, but I do feel confident that rewatching that I would like it more.
mm,
I think I might have said that at the time, I forget, but either
yeah,
way, this movie I'm not sure I feel the same way about. I think the Holy Mountain had so much uh, creativity and unique stuff, but it didn't feel so
yeah,
repetitive, and it didn't feel like I was
yeah.
just waiting to get blasted. Like if I rewatch this, if I
uh,
I'm sitting down to rewatch this and I'm like, all right, 2.5 hours, and then I get a blast in my face. Like, I don't know.
yeah. You get some 3D glasses. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. The Holy Mountain definitely well, first of all, the Holy Mountain's like an hour shorter.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just not as repetitive. This one's extremely repetitive. It's yeah, it really could have been cut down a lot.
Right.
But there are just aspects of it that are so good that I can't say that I dislike the movie. I like a lot of aspects of it, but also yeah.
Yeah. I feel torn almost. I mean, one of the hard things for this movie to me was that I again, like if there was a 90-minute cut of this, right?
Hmm.
Where at some point after he gets shot again, whatever. They ignore all the other stuff, right? Whatever.
Well, I would even say, well,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off,
No, no,
but
no.
even after he gets shot, at least there's some developments in the
Yeah.
story. A lot of the stuff between when he dies the first time and then when we catch up and then he dies again, I think that also could have been shortened, at
Yeah.
least in my version. Maybe it already was in your
It might
version.
have
I'm not
been.
sure. But uh like it's just seeing like once we're back at the beginning of the movie and then we have to repeat through till like 25 minutes into the movie, like all
Yeah.
that stuff felt pretty repetitive and it didn't bring a lot new to the table. And
Yeah.
yeah, after he gets killed too, there's a lot of stuff that did not really need to be there. All like Mario, not an interesting character. That relationship, not interesting at all. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was so tapped out at the end that I think there's also a lot, and I felt this way also about the Holy Mountain, that at one point I just ended up like tapped out of like the of looking at the stuff that is creative and unique, but also is abrasive and not necessarily enjoyable all the time.
Yeah,
That
it's
I
too
was,
edgy.
yeah, right,
And you're
right,
just
right,
tired you out.
yeah. And this was so much longer again that like I feel like, and I feel like if this was again like the length of the Holy Mountain, I probably would have liked it more. Like
Yeah,
there is a cut of this out there, some not really, but like you could make a cut of this that
fan
I,
cut.
yeah. If there's a fan, if anyone has a like fan cut of this, please send it to me because I would probably like it so much more.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I do think there are so many aspects that are cool. The first
Yeah.
person perspective on literally everything is so cool
It's
that
so
we're
neat too. It's so yeah, it really works when it works.
yeah. Yep. And I love all the psychedelic imagery and the trips and stuff like that. Um yeah. So it I will say this is a movie where it was kind of hard for me to rate this time around because the first time I watched it, I loved it. This time around, I loved aspects of it, but I also was kind of bored by a lot of it. But I think there are some movies that are great and you only need to watch once.
Yeah.
Like I'm like there's The Nightingale or I don't know. Like there are a lot of movies that I've watched and I'm like, I'm glad I watched that. It was enriching. It was interesting. I feel like I've expanded my palette, my horizons, my understanding of the world just a little bit. This is worth watching, but I would probably never want to watch that again because of whatever the case may be. There's some, maybe it's really upsetting. Maybe it's whatever the case is, or maybe it's just like kind of long and boring through some parts, I guess. So I think this is a movie that's certainly worth watching once, but I don't know that I think it has very little rewatchability.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree. I think I would be hard pressed probably to put it on again. I
Yeah.
was joking around earlier about the whole cum shot thing, but honestly,
I
but
I would
yeah.
rewatch the beginning of the movie again. That
Oh
is really
yeah.
cool.
Again, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna reiterate, but yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I think it's hard. It's so hard to rate this one for me too, because like if there was just that beginning of the movie or just some cut of the movie, I could see myself like giving it anywhere from like 4 to 5 stars, depending on what it looked like, right?
Hmm.
But especially leaving so like the end of like by the end, I was just so tapped out, so annoyed,
Hmm.
so done, physically uncomfortable at times, like that it really it dropped it probably more than I needed to, but
Nah,
that's
I
okay.
mean, yeah, you can give it whatever rating you want. I mean, who cares? It's just a rating. But yeah, like I think the ending works better than the middle. It's mainly the middle toward the end. Like the very ending itself, I mean, there is a lot of unnecessary, like we're seeing everyone. I don't
Why?
really know what's going on. All the characters from the movie basically are in the love hotel and they're having sex with each other and stuff. It's very strange and
I didn't want to see
un
that.
unexplained. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I really love like when we're actually going into the model city, all the color, the overhead shots of that, and the overhead. There's also like a cool overhead shot right before we go into the model city of like Tokyo, I think, and we're like up over the city, and it's really cool. Uh, so yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, this rewatch, I was a little more. I was not as taken by the movie as I was when I had first seen it. But maybe
Yeah.
that's also me being a little older. I don't know when I saw this the first time. It was definitely over, I feel like it was over 5 years ago because it was probably before COVID. So I would have been in college. And that's a different era. And
Yeah.
and I think when you see it for the first time, like I at least was I guess you weren't, but I was very taken and just impressed by it as a feat and its uniqueness. Like there's literally no other movie that looks or feels or is made in this way. It's completely unique. So I really appreciate that about it. And just I don't know, you see so many movies that it's like, oh, two people walk into a room and we do shot, reverse shot, and they talk, and then we go out and we're establishing shot into another room, a shot, reverse shot. And it's like at least this one is trying things and it's ambitious and it's crazy and it's like nothing you've ever seen before. And so I do respect that about it, even though I probably wouldn't watch it again anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny to me that we agree on so much of it because I I don't know. I just expected maybe that we had very different views, and I think maybe we still have some. There's probably different levels to how we're feeling here, but like
Hmm.
I'm 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 glad to know that I'm not like totally alone on how I felt with it this time around.
Well, maybe because yeah, no, I think that's very fair. Like a lot of the middle, I was like, do we really need to be seeing this again and again? Like, and the thing also, like, this does have kind of a repetitive structure of like we see a scene from overhead and then we go into something and then we come back out and we see a new scene and then we go in and we go out. And
Right.
it is like, and for that, for like 2.5 hours is a lot. So
Right. And those transitions are really cool the first few times,
yeah,
and
but there's got to be like dozens of them. There's so many. And
Yeah.
well, it's either that we're going in and out of something, or we're somewhere and then we sweep across the city, and
Yeah.
then we're going through walls and stuff, and then we're at a new place and we do that. Those are pretty much the two ways they transition through scenes, which is cool, but it just doesn't sustain for this long of a runtime for me.
Yeah.
But
Same. And again, it's kind of a shame. I think um it's hard. I mean, at this point, I'm sure everyone that's watching at this point has seen the movie because that'd be kind of
I hope
insane.
so.
But
Yeah.
but like to be honest, I don't know if I would recommend this to many people. I mean, I know you would. I mean, you recommended it here. I don't know if you still would, I guess, but I
True.
assume so.
I would with caveats, but
Yeah.
I would still recommend it because, like I said, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. It's a totally unique movie. I feel like
Yeah.
even if you compare it, you could compare it to video games, but I don't know that there are many video games with this type of like psychedelic experience or with this type of extreme content. And then like Tree of Life, Holy Mountain, like those are kind of 2001,
Yeah.
but is this like not or you're kind of in the ballpark, but not really, you know?
I know. See, it's like, yeah, like I almost would want, like it's tough because like I almost want to recommend that someone like turns it on and just gives up at some point. But like
Yeah.
that's terrible. Like I don't actually want people to like DNF movies, but
Yeah.
but
I think with enough with the caveats and stuff, and it depends on the person.
yeah.
If this is if we're talking about just a random person who's not really into movies and they're like, hey, Avengers Doomsday looks sick, you know, like they see like two movies a year. It's like don't recommend Enter the Void. That's not what they're not gonna enjoy it. They're
Great way to never talk to that person about movies again.
yeah, they'll be like, this guy's fucking crazy. What is why? Like recommend that guy like Inception or something. Even Inception might be too much for that. I don't know.
Start with The
Like
Dark Knight, maybe.
yeah, I guess. Like I don't know. Like yeah. So but for the right audience, uh this is very interesting because it is like thought-provoking and interesting. Like what happens after we die. Obviously, it's not like I don't I'm not Buddhist. I don't believe that this is what happens after you die, but it's still like a really cool concept for a movie. And I think it's pulled off with a cool style, despite yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I guess we'll just should we give our ratings?
Yeah.
I
You
don't
want to
know
go
if there's
first?
that much else to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like I think one other thing that just comes up, I think, with the recap, maybe. So maybe
Hmm,
we can do our ratings and then I just have one
gotcha.
comment maybe after the recap. But
Sure. I gave it 4 stars. After this discussion, obviously I was pretty negative about it, so 4 stars seems generous. But like that, I don't know. Like I had it at 4.5 before, and I was like, because there are aspects of it that are some of the best shit I've ever seen, but also there are aspects of it where I'm like just bored to tears. So like 4 stars is what I gave it. I don't know.
yeah. Which I think makes a lot of sense. I think it's hard. It's this is such a hard one to rate. And
Yeah.
I kind of slapped hard on it. I was like, I think I'm so susceptible to like the ending, that can really hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
And
See, I like the ending.
I feel like it's not even that I necessarily didn't like it. I was just so tapped out by the end too that
Hmm.
I don't know. I think
Did
nothing
now
could have pulled it back for me at that
what
point.
was your reaction to the cum shot?
I was I was I was I think
Did
my
you
jaw might have been open. Not for
Gee, it's
not
not a
for that.
4D. It's not a 4D movie, Ryan. Jeez. Uh like I'm just
I
curious
was
like
shocked.
did you roll your eyes? Yeah, shocked. Okay, that
Yeah, I don't think I wasn't like that's the stupidest shit, but I was definitely like, what? Wait a second, is this real? Did
what
I?
I do have to say, you in your apartment, your TV is right next to a gigantic
Oh
window.
no, Shane.
There's
I knew well enough to close the blinds for this.
okay, good.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I think I could have been sued if my neighbors had epilepsy. So,
Yeah, right. It's like oh my gosh. All right.
um,
So anyway,
but
sorry, I interrupted
no,
your
that's all right. But yeah, I ended up giving it 2.5 stars, which I don't know. Maybe I could have done 3 or something, but 2.5 is where I'm at for right now. Um, yeah, whatever. But the
yeah.
recap is
I
surprising.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
wanted to say one positive thing about the movie is
Yeah.
I think Linda and Oscar's like relationship as kids and like the car crash and seeing them as kids, them getting split up, like adding all that in the relationship and in the story was real like added a lot of depth to the movie. It's just that then like the movie goes off and like we have all Linda's and all this other stuff that's kind of unrelated. But it was like a cool and also was she trying to fuck her brother?
Yeah, I think
It
so.
seemed like it, right?
Yeah, I think
There's
there
a
was some
lot
like,
of
it's not Oedipus, right? Is that the
that
uh
is when you like wanna that's like you kill your dad and you fuck your
oh
mom or something, right?
yeah, well, whatever,
That's
some sort of
Oedipus.
incestuous like Greek name,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, like definitely was going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely some weird vibes. She was like kissing him in very sexual ways. It was very weird.
Yeah, I think she also like high and stuff, right? I think so.
Yes, I think
Not that that's
so.
like
But you have to
whatever.
I don't know how high you have to get to try to fuck your brother, but yeah,
um,
just a weird aspect of the movie that really never like pays off in any way.
yeah,
But
yeah, but I do agree, by the way, that I think their relationship was probably the most fascinating part of the narrative. I mean,
mm,
um, for me at least. Um,
yeah,
but
yeah.
and so as a recap here, we've got it has 73% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and 72% audience score, um, which is great. But then it's
Pretty
got a
high.
3.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd and a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb, and which brings it to an average of 7.325 out of 10, which is a pretty high average. And I'm surprised. I was expecting that the critic score that there would be a big difference between the critic and audience score here, because
Mm,
sometimes we see that with this type of thing, you know?
yeah, I agree. I guess this like finds its audience of people who are interested in this kind of thing, interested in psychedelics and in like out, extreme out fringe art and experimental cinema and stuff like that. But I could imagine like there's not a wide audience that has seen the movie. So I
Right.
think the audience score would go down if it was more widely seen, probably. But but yeah, I agree. It is kind of surprising that it's that high. Even the critic one, I'm like, it's pretty good. Like pretty high score.
Yeah. I agree. I think honestly, like everything is, I mean, it averages out right to like pretty much where all this, the scores do not vary much, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, which is just also kind of surprising. But I mean, I think that's great. I think I'm glad that people are enjoying it, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it even twice now. But yeah, I don't not my I don't know. Whatever. We've talked enough about it. There's some stuff
Yeah.
I liked. Whatever.
Now we get to oh boy,
Climax.
climax.
And
So this was your pick. I had also seen Climax in the past. I saw Climax in theaters when it came out. This was probably around the same time I saw Into the Void for the first time.
you saw
But
this in theaters?
I
Oh
did.
wow.
I saw it and I was like uh mainly confused and disoriented and didn't know what to make of it. And it has very good ratings. We'll get into it later on, but it's on Letterboxd. It's like also I think a 3.8.
Yeah.
It's very a lot of people really like it. And I was like, that's one that I've been kind of thinking, I should probably rewatch that. Like I didn't really get it the first time around. It's probably worth rewatching. And I did, and I regretted it. I fucking hated Climax. I thought the whole thing was a fucking waste of time. I thought it was stupid. I thought the anyway. Well, now I feel like an asshole. I've gone a little bit hard on this movie, but I will say I fucking hated it.
You don't say. Um
This was similar. This was only 90 minutes long, but I was as annoyed as I was when I watched Eddington. Not to keep bringing up Eddington on this fucking show, but fucking Eddington, I was sitting in the theater. I was ready to walk out. And this one, it was 90 minutes. I was in my living room. If I could have walked out, I would have. Oh my goodness,
yeah.
just a difficult film to watch. And one
Yeah.
that came off to me as completely pointless. So,
Yeah. It's interesting to me that I was not that I was super close to like not finishing um Enter the Void, but I would be lying if I didn't say there was a part of me that was like if I wasn't watching it for the podcast, maybe I don't know. I mean, I'm not really one to like turn off a movie, but
Fast forward like I did with Paranormal Activity.
there we go. That could have worked.
Not Paranormal Activity 1, but with
No.
like 2 and 3 I fast or 2, 3, 4. Some of those I fast forwarded. I don't remember. Only
Um,
parts. I didn't watch the whole thing fast forward. That
yeah,
would be like a brain rot. Like, oh, you're like 12 years old and you have to watch a movie. Imagine watching a movie at like 1.5 times speed.
that'd be hilarious. Wait, hold. Imagine watching Enter the Void at 1.5 times speed.
That'd be kind of that. Yeah, kind of
I'm
crazy.
in. You get to the cum shot faster.
5 seconds. Oh man.
uh,
Yeah, I also like Into the Void is just so long that I'm like, well, yeah, I get why. But Climax is so short,
yeah.
and there's nothing, there's no substance to it at all. In my opinion, that I did not get anything from it at all. I just watched a bunch of people scream and act like idiots for no reason for like 90 minutes, and I hated it.
Yeah. And it's so the premise of this movie is that there's this dance troupe that they spike their drink gets spiked with some hallucinogenic. And that's the whole
Mm.
premise. That's it. You get the whole night of them going through crazy stuff. And I want to start with a positive here because I actually going into this one, I was feeling pretty positive because I thought the dance scenes at the beginning were kind of cool. I was like,
Yeah,
all right, I'm into, and you get like there's this one long kind of dance scene with everyone. And it's pretty well choreographed and a little chaotic, but like it felt like what I was kind of expecting going into this, you know.
mm.
Um, and then you get a few more
It,
dance scenes from like an over the head perspective. And you get to see like a bunch of people kind of you see pretty much everyone dancing individually, but like in the center. And I was like I was in. I was like, this stuff kind of rocks.
mm,
It also went on a little too long.
mm.
The
Yeah,
dance, like I feel like not that I mean, once it ended, it's not really how I wanted it to end. I was like, can we go back to that, please? But also,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I thought that I will say that
The
just that beginning was pretty a cool opening.
Yeah, I agree. The actual opening shot of like the person in the snow, the woman in the snow, very cool opening shot. And where
Yeah,
I don't even know who that was. I guess that
I
was the pregnant lady
was it.
because they throw her out. Don't they throw her
Oh,
out?
oh, I don't know, honestly. Yeah, maybe this movie's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, you didn't like it either. There we go.
So
So, but yeah, we have like, yeah. So
you're asking me a question about one of these characters, and I'm like, I actually don't. I don't know. This was 90 minutes. You don't have too many characters. Well, actually, there's a lot of characters,
there's a
and
fuckload of characters. What do you mean? There's so many of them,
yeah,
and you can't keep track of any of them.
yeah.
There's like 30 characters.
And all of them act. I mean, yeah, they're spiked, I guess, right? Whatever. They all act absolute.
Well, no, but they're all horrible, almost all horrible people. Not all.
Yes. Even
Well,
before the
because there's the interviews with them, which also goes on quite long. And
yeah.
there's like the two
Oh, I forgot about
cousins.
that.
Yeah, yeah. There's the interviews, and you have like the books and the tapes on the side of the TV to just in case you can't tell what movies influenced Gaspar Noé.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and yeah, like the two cousins are like based on the subtitles. I don't speak French. Basically, just talking about raping people,
Yeah.
a bunch, and then there's like yeah, everyone just seems awful to varying degrees. And I get like I would say that seems like the theme of it is like some sort of hell on earth type of a thing. I don't know if it's like these are people who are only exist for like the flesh and they don't have any morals and then this is what happens. Maybe that's what it's going for. I'm not quite sure. It's also like well, I will say, I guess the only person who doesn't drink, well, the only two people who don't drink is a pregnant woman and the guy who's Muslim and doesn't drink alcohol, and they both are like persecuted and attacked for it, and uh, the guy dies, right? Which is
Uh,
also weird. At the end, you see him like in the snow.
Was
Like
that honestly? I don't know.
I thought that was him. I thought that was him in the snow. I wasn't sure.
You could be right.
Now
I,
I did watch this a few days ago, so I don't have it totally fresh. But I thought
I watched
Omar,
this yesterday, and I actually like. There's just so many characters, and it's dark, and they all kind of, I don't know.
yeah, I think Omar is the religious guy, and I think you see him dead in the snow at the end of the movie, which is not explained because how did he just die? The guy wasn't on drugs. He just got like cold and there's not a single house around. There's not. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
just dies, I guess. Uh, but yeah, so I don't know if that was the theme. There's also like there's a part where it says this is a French film and proud of it, and there's a big French flag behind them, and almost everyone in the group except there's one like seemingly straight white guy. I don't know if he's fully straight. He seems like he is, I guess. I don't know. But everyone else pretty much is uh person of color, immigrant, gay. There's also like a transgender actress who I think might be playing a cisgender character, which is like the brother and sister. The
Mm,
the sister is played by a transgender actress. Uh, but at some point she says something about like getting pregnant, or maybe her brother's afraid of her getting pregnant or something like that. Which obviously a transgender woman could not. So I think the
yeah.
character is supposed to be cisgender. I don't really know, but anyway, it's very extremely diverse cast. But I don't know what it's trying to say about this. Is it that all these people are awful and should not be in France? Is there any other way to interpret it? I don't know.
Yeah, this movie is really about, I mean, I think like one thing that I thought some messaging, whatever it might be, that I thought maybe could have been interesting was like essentially, like you said, maybe like hell on earth, or like what happens to bad people when hell breaks loose, right? Like uncontrolled, unadulterated. It's just everyone for themselves in this hellhole. And this is kind of the outcome of that, right? But I think that doesn't really I think that the if that's the idea, I think it's maybe interesting, but I also don't think it doesn't feel very compelling to me because I just I didn't buy into any of the characters. I thought everyone was pretty like uh pretty forgettable and pretty like non believable, and I
Hmm.
don't know. None of the characters worked for me. They all felt pretty hollow, and I don't know. I mean, I maybe that's part of the point. I don't really know, but it didn't
Hmm.
make it in. I don't know. It was hard to enjoy
Hmm.
like it wasn't like a slasher where you're like, oh yeah, like I get, at least we get the resolve of watching them die, because you also watch like them just horribly mistreat each other. Like it's not like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like you get like some retribution kill or something. You get like brutal torture, right? Emotional, psychological, physical torture for the whole
Yeah. And
runtime.
I think the kid dies just for that was the stupidest thing. What are you doing? You're locking your kid in an electrical closet? Why?
Yeah,
Leave. Walk out the door.
yeah.
Just
Was
leave. All the characters could have just walked away. I guess not because
but
Omar died, but how the fuck did he die? That it doesn't even make any sense. It's unexplained and it was not believable at all. This guy didn't take any drugs. He's just dies? The guy can't just walk and find another building anywhere?
yeah, it makes no sense.
He doesn't have a car. How did he get there?
Yeah, but yeah.
So yeah, that was incredibly stupid when that lady put her kid in a fucking electrical closet and then I guess he opened it up and touched some shit and then died, apparently.
Also, everyone knew that that's what happened right away. All these people that are high off their
Yeah.
mind, they're all like, "Oh, Tito died," like
Yeah.
Tito got, and it's like I actually didn't put that together right away. Like I don't know how these
Hmm.
people did. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. I don't think believability was maybe the going factor here.
No. And I will say large portions of this movie, once it gets to the second half of the movie, just a lot of screaming. So much
Yeah.
screaming, so much screaming. It's terrible. It's not enjoyable to watch. And a lot of it is people who are tripping and clearly hallucinating. and we can't see any of the hallucinations. So they're just acting completely insane. Which maybe again, I don't I don't know. This movie seems extremely puritanical, which well, I don't know. A lot of people who like this movie, I don't think are like super anti-drug or anti-immigrant or like racist, but I'm also like, is that not the primary way to like interpret this movie? Am I fucked up for interpreting it in this way? Like there's a big French flag, there's a bunch of immigrants in this place, and it just turns to absolute hell. And even the person who does it is Psyche, who is German. She's like one of the few white people there, but she's also a foreigner. She's from Germany. So is and she's like the one that causes the problems. And I mean, basically everyone's awful. Also, David is a white guy and he's just a complete asshole basically the entire movie. He's extremely annoying to watch. And then at one point, we don't see what happens, but there's like a group of like four black guys that basically like beat him up and put a swastika on his forehead, assuming there was some kind of a conflict there. But we don't get to see that. Instead, we get to see Sophia Boutella just scream in the bathroom for about 10 minutes. Uh, and yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also,
Do you have any opinion on this? Like, anything of these themes of nationalism, race, any of these kinds of things? Did you see any of that? Did you?
you
Uh,
know, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I feel like I didn't quite put together the whole like, the opening credit with the, this is a French movie and we're proud of it or whatever. I didn't really put that together with the themes of the movie. I just kind of was like opening credit stuff, like I kind of just put it away really quick. Um, but I do see what you're saying, and I feel like that's an interesting interpretation that I could definitely buy into, where it feels like you just have a bunch of like you have this diverse cast of people with different backgrounds and everything, and you're like, here is the most horrific things that can happen to them.
yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah, I don't know. And then but also like Gaspar Noé is from Argentina. He's not
right.
French. And also, I guess Omar is the most righteous and moral character in the movie. But not that he's like a saint. He just seems like kind of a relatively normal guy. Uh, but he's also like Muslim and uh, probably either an immigrant or child of immigrants in France. So like, I don't know if the movie is like, I just don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I remember the first time I saw it, I also felt like weird about it, but I didn't. It's not like I was gonna be like, oh fuck that movie. That movie's super racist because I don't know if that it is, but if it's just weird, and I don't know that I am the right person to be like to have that interpretation. I guess I don't know. I don't. But it was just weird. I don't know.
yeah. No, I do agree. I think it is weird. I think yeah. I mean, I think like it's hard to really know what the intent is here, and also it's hard for I think for me to know if that impact is truly the impact or not, right? um
Hmm.
but even in terms of like just intent, it's like I don't really get the point of the movie, and maybe that's
Yeah.
part of the problem for me. um like I can see some strands of themes of like, how people are horrible and just, you leave people alone to their own devices or whatever, and they'll just slaughter each other and whatever. Like that kind of feels like what it's trying to get at maybe to me, but even I
Yeah.
mean everything that I think of is so loose. It's just hard to like actually put a cohesive tie on it.
I think the this is supposed to be like hell on earth is probably the main thing going on here. Like at
Mm.
one point, I forget exactly the context, but someone says something about, oh, I think it might be Omar. Oh yeah, because maybe the DJ asks Omar if he believes in heaven, and Omar says he does, and he asks him like what it would be like, and Omar says that there'd be no chaos in heaven.
Mm.
And obviously this is extremely chaotic. That's the entire thing. So I think that's what the movie's going for is a depiction of hell on earth. But it just doesn't make for like an interesting narrative to me, just because then like I don't know. It's just horrible to watch. It's just extremely a ton of screaming, and the camera's upside down for long periods of time. Uh,
Yeah.
there's like
Also,
incest and rape and people. It just sucks, which I guess
yeah,
is the point. But I,
but it also feels like, and maybe this goes with that point too, right? Is it does feel like there's also really no through line in the narrative of like we're not following. I guess we're kind of following. I don't know. It bounces around.
it seems. I think Sophia Boutella is kind of the main character. She's first billed. Selva was her character,
Yeah,
but
the yeah.
but we barely know anything about her, and she's not very interesting.
Yeah, and it feels like just every character is like we don't know much about them, and there's all these different, like there's that the uh the girl with the kid and the pregnant girl, and um the incestuous brother, and there's all these little things, and none of it actually builds into a stronger narrative about like anything about what's going on. And I, it's just confusing to me, like what, not that everything needs to have like a through narrative or whatever, but I don't know. I didn't find it very enjoyable to not really be following a specific thing, and instead like you're just walking through rooms, and like in each room it's like you're walking through one of those like haunted house attractions, and
Mm.
but like in every room there's like actually someone being tortured by a bunch of other people, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm gonna not go into that room. And then the next one, there's just a lady like scrubbing herself clean of blood in the shower, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
And and this is like part of me is like, see if we had been able to see the hallucinations, then it probably would have made the movie more interesting. But maybe that's part of the point is that we're just seeing how these people are actually acting. We're seeing the reality of it, and they're the ones hallucinating. So that's also why it feels like such an anti-drug movie,
Yeah,
because it is like we're on the outside and like they look absolutely insane, and they are insane. They're completely insane and unhinged. So we don't get any of the like cool, wacky imagery of like Enter the Void, you know? So it's kind of just a bunch, it's like it's just I don't think you need to sit through this movie and endure this movie to understand that people are selfish and fucked up and do bad things. Like I
yeah.
don't yeah.
Maybe that's part of the problem to me too, is like it feels like the themes here are the narrative, right? Which isn't necessarily a problem, except for the fact that these are not particularly compelling, and it doesn't feel it doesn't feel it doesn't even feel particularly interesting of themes, right? Like it's
Hmm.
like, I don't know, yeah, like you said, like we get it, like we know that these are bad things.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just very uninterested for most of the movie. It was just very unenjoyable to watch. Uh
All
yeah.
speaking of unenjoyable to watch, the last like I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, maybe less than that. I don't really know. Whatever. There's a good portion of this movie where, and you mentioned this a little bit, the camera is pretty much upside down the whole time. Everything's red, and
Mhm.
and there's so much chaotic motion and grunting and horrible blaring music, and um and everything is just like physically, again, like just physically uncomfortable. It's like, dude,
I think that's the point. I think he wants it to be like that. But
yeah.
yeah.
And I don't want to watch that though, is the problem.
That's very fair. I think that's fair. Yeah. I didn't like watching this one either. Yeah,
I think, yeah,
going into this, I expected you to like Climax more than Enter the Void, but it seems like you may have liked it even less.
it's funny because actually I think finishing the movies, I thought I liked Climax maybe a little bit more, but now that we're talking about them, I think I'm kind of like, I actually don't think I liked it more. I think, I don't know. I think the problem is that like, here's my thing is that this, I didn't feel like at the end, like so overwhelmed with how long it was, where like I
Hmm.
was bored all the time and I was, whatever. Whereas
Yeah.
I think that the length,
Oh yeah, I figured that would be a problem for you. I
yeah,
mean, you're Mr. 90 minutes or less, like where you don't
yeah,
want this almost 3 hour behemoth of, well, whatever, 2.5 hour behemoth of craziness. Yeah.
yeah.
So
And
that's
so
why I
I
figured
think
you'd like so yeah.
I think that because of that, I think I kind of left Climax feeling a little bit more like, well, I didn't
At
love
least it's
it,
over.
but oh well, yeah, like, but thinking through them a little bit more and talking about them, I am kind of like, actually, the stuff I liked about Enter the Void is way better than anything that happened in Climax,
Mm,
and it might have been more worth sitting through than this one.
I agree. Yeah. I think when I first saw Climax, I was very like, obviously there's a ton of long takes in the movie, and some of the like, also I'm not a dance guy. I don't dance. I don't know how to dance. I don't enjoy dancing very much. I'm not a big, there you go, there Ryan's dancing. But I'm just not a big dance guy, and I don't really like watching people dance that much. And it is very chaotic. And there are aspects when people do things, and I'm like, oh, that was cool. But then also a lot of it is just people throwing their arms around or do like a lot of it just didn't do anything for me at all, and it was like a large portion of the movie, and the rest of the movie was just people screaming and being awful to each other, and I was like, this has nothing for me at all. Like but I think the long takes and the it's like it's not poorly made, so I think I didn't hate it the first time around. I just was confused, but this time around I really felt like just felt so empty and pointless to me, where the point was so it was just not worth watching, like to get that point. Uh, it was just a very unenjoyable time for me. I really didn't like it.
I think for me, I actually did like most of the dancing stuff that was going on. You know, like even the background in some scenes, like we're just like moving through a room and there's like a lady dancing, and it's like it just like in the background as the character is moving, and it's like that's odd, but kind of interesting. And I feel like to me, like that's really the only maybe the only thing in the movie that I actually enjoyed, but I did, and maybe that's part of why I also left the movie feeling a little bit okay with it, because like that is a pretty good percent of the movie where you at least get some amount of that. And I will say at the end though, when like the dancing is really just uh it's not really dancing. They're just like dislocating their shoulders and whatever,
Mm,
like double jointed
I
stuff, whatever. Yeah.
yeah,
It felt too much. I was like, ooh. I think the point was to feel uncomfortable from that, I think. But
yeah, I
yeah, so
guess.
I don't know. I think I felt I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. I think I did feel like I left this one feeling better about it than Enter the Void. But I think again, after talking about it, I think Enter the Void has more there. It just has too much, which is tough.
Yeah, I get that. I agree. Well, this is interesting. We had such different ratings, but quite similar thoughts on both movies. But yeah, I don't know that I have that much else to say about Climax. If people
Yeah.
have their own interpretations of like the themes with France and race
Nationalism.
and nationalism, all those type of things, I'd be very curious to hear what you think about it. So comment on the YouTube, comment on you go to our letterbox, comment on our reviews or something.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, I would just be curious to hear what people think about it.
I will say that's another thing is I feel like if I did catch on to that theming, or like if I felt the same way about that, um, I probably would have felt more negative about it also, but I don't know if I really connected that in while I was watching it, you know. So I don't know. I think
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it's not like I'm saying the movie is racist.
Right.
I don't know that that's the case, but there's something going on that's weird and I don't know how to like what to think about it. Because it just strikes me like it would be strange for the movie to be that blatantly like racist and to be embraced by so many people, but maybe people just don't notice it or don't or just interpret it differently. I don't know.
I will say I sound like a friggin' plebeian over here thinking that like I don't think Gaspar Noé is my guy. I'm like,
That's fair.
you know, this
Yeah,
is
that's
too
fair. I
yeah,
also think at when I was younger, not that I'm old, but getting to we're in our late 20s, a little different than when you're in your early 20s, late teens, and maybe I was more fascinated by like edgier stuff.
right.
But now I'm like, all right, Gaspar, like, do I really give that much of a fuck? Eh, like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I don't
Not
know.
as enthralled or intrigued by his supreme edginess. But there it's unique, I guess. I don't know. At
It
least
is
enter the
unique, and
yeah.
I think the same is true for Climax. I think it is a
Yeah.
unique experience, like, and I think that's part of why, again, that I kind of feel not. I don't know. I didn't like the movie particularly, but I do feel like there's some value because it is so unique. And I mean, man, this guy's so weird.
Mm.
Gaspar, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
I just feel like the aspects of Climax that are good, which I guess would be like long takes and like cool credit sequences, are just done better already in Enter the Void. And
Mm,
like I feel like Climax doesn't add that much different to that. I guess there's no dance sequences in Enter the Void, but those are not exactly my favorite. I think I think a lot of people maybe like it because they like horror movies and they like dance sequences. And I think some
yeah,
people like the representation aspect of it.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, and I do understand that. I think maybe. Well, no, the problem is that it's hard to enjoy the representation when you're just watching them get, like, nobody's a good person and everyone's getting put through hell, right? Like,
Yeah.
do I really care that it has a gay person if the gay person's getting like there's a whole scene where those where two guys are talking about, like,
Yeah.
you
Like
know,
what
putting a, yeah, whatever.
like raping the is it the like gay like Twinkie guy
Yeah,
that is like a he's like a virgin or something, right? And
yeah,
he wants to fuck David, but David's like, no, I don't want to fuck you. Yeah, really fascinating narrative there.
yeah,
Who gives a fuck? But
yeah.
at the end, there's kind of a nice thing. The DJ is played by a real musician and
Oh,
DJ whose name I don't know because I'm not French. I don't listen to that much French music, but Kitty Smile is his name. The character's name is Daddy, which is weird, but okay, that's fine. And yeah, he is sort of like seemingly like he's trying to help this gay kid out because probably he's like an older gay guy. He's kind of trying to help this kid out. And then at the end, they sleep in the same room. Do that? I don't think they had sex.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. It
I
felt
don't
like they
think
were just sleeping.
it felt like the kid was like fuck. He was like was he like
He was like sobbing in the
he was
bed.
sobbing? Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Was he like cutting himself or something like that? Maybe he wasn't. Maybe I'm
Uh,
making that up. I don't know. That might not be accurate. I don't remember. But he was all distraught. He was definitely distraught. So yeah, I
yeah.
think he was just comforting him. So the so that guy, the DJ guy, he's like a relatively decent guy, it seems like. He doesn't like attack. Well, I don't know. He might be part of the group that's like, you're pregnant? Fucking kill yourself. We hate you. Die. Like when that happens.
Yeah.
He might be part of that. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah.
Also,
There's also
yeah.
the tall bald lady. Just awful.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa,
Oh my
whoa, whoa.
God.
So someone that you know this person, maybe she hates her and we don't know that because I don't remember whatever. But she says that she's pregnant and you just everyone just assumes that she's the one
Lying?
who drugged. Yeah, like is it not possible that like you guys are just fucking each other left and right? Like is it not possible that she's actually pregnant? It was kind of, that whole thing was also just kind of annoying because I was like
Yeah.
it was just people acting in the absolute worst way possible.
It
So
just, again, it felt like so unbelievable. Like, I feel like, and I feel like maybe what some people like about this, and I don't really know, but maybe it's just that it's off the walls at times. And I feel
hmm.
like, to me, those times just didn't really work. Like, there was very few of those times maybe that did work. And I don't even know if there was really that many at all. But um so I don't know, maybe like people just, maybe it did work for more people, you know. But
Yeah.
should we do our ratings?
Yeah, I guess that's that.
Well,
I gave it 1 star.
wow.
Yeah, I know. It was brutal, but right
That's all
now
right.
actually I feel less emotionally charged about it. When I was like watching the movie when I was done with it, I was like, I fucking hated that movie. And I know I did come in really hard actually, so I it did probably does come off like I hate the movie. But right now I'm kind of just like I just don't care, kind of rolling my eyes. But yeah, when I watched it, I really had a strong distaste for this movie. Thought
Yeah,
it was basically pointless to watch and was just a terrible time. So I gave it 1 star.
dang. I did give it. I gave it 2.5. I could kind of see myself at 2 stars after talking more about it, but I'm gonna leave it at 2.5. I don't know. Whatever. But
That's fair.
whatever, dude.
I had it at
This
3 stars before.
that's a
I will
big
say
jump.
both these movies, I had Climax at 3 stars, now it's at one. I had Enter the Void at 4.5, now it's at four. So they both did
Drop.
drop on a rewatch. So I don't know, that could just be me also getting older and not as interested in Gaspar's shtick, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I am curious, like if I would have liked Climax more, 5 years ago or whatever, probably. I don't know.
Mm.
It's hard to know, but
Yeah. I also
um,
think me seeing it in the theater, maybe the big screen, the loud, it's more immersive. So that probably added to the experience just in some way. But I don't know. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
I kind of
Well,
feel like sometimes if you watch a movie and you're kind of like, I don't really know what to make about that, but it wasn't, I didn't hate it, didn't like it, didn't love it. Sometimes you just give it 3 stars or 2.5, 3 stars, something like that.
yeah.
Anyway,
Well, the recap here, it's got 69% critic score
nice.
and 65% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Also a 6.9 out of 10 on
Ah,
IMDb.
oh,
And a 3.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So again, I mean, pretty well received with an average of 6.975
of
out of
course.
10. So also pretty well received. Not quite as well as Enter the Void overall, but seen by a lot more people. This is like 3 times as popular
Yeah.
on Letterboxd at least. Um, Something like that. So
Yeah. This one is actually like distributed by A24 and it was
yeah,
also made by Vice Studios. So when I saw that, I was like, Vice. I didn't realize this was a Vice like co-production. But but yeah, this definitely has reached the widest audience, I think. Like it came out 2018, sort of that A24 in its golden era of horror, like with
right.
Hereditary, Midsummer, The Witch was only a couple years before this, stuff like that. So yeah.
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 So I feel
Sorry,
like
I stopped talking right as you were yawning, so that
no,
was
that's
bad podcasting.
that's all right.
I was gonna
Um,
name no, go.
that's all right. Yeah, I feel like it's interesting that I think these just it's fascinating to me that I feel like these did not hit. They've been on my radar, and I actually took Irreversible off my watch list after this.
That's fair.
Um, I have not seen it's been on my watch list along with these two for a long time, and I haven't watched it mostly because there's that scene that I know
Yeah.
of, and I didn't really care for that. But the gimmick sounds cool. Well, not gimmick, whatever, gimmick, whatever it is. But
Reverse storytelling. It's told in reverse order, basically.
yeah,
Starts at the end of the story and we go backwards each scene.
and I feel like now after seeing two of Gaspar Noé's other stuff, I'm kind of like, I don't think I need to sit through the 9-minute rape scene and also to know whether or not I'm gonna. I don't know, whatever. I I'm sure that people. I mean, people that I follow on Letterboxd really like Irreversible, but I think I'm just
Yeah,
not going to give it a shot right now. I think
that is fair.
maybe another
I
time.
that's another one of those that I don't really have any interest in rewatching. And when I watched it, I remember pretty much everything around that scene. I remember actually really liking. Uh, and that scene itself, like it does feel very unnecessary. And I feel like if I rewatched it, I would have a more negative opinion, especially based on this experience of rewatching two Gaspar Noé movies and liking them less. I imagine I would like Irreversible less on a rewatch, but I do remember like the way the story, like that scene happens, I believe like in the middle of the movie. I don't remember exactly where, but it's basically in the middle of the movie. And like the opening scene is like pretty crazy and uh violent and cool. Okay, not really cool, but it's like fucked up, I guess. But but then I remember the ending being like actually a really great ending. And actually maybe more, I don't know if heartfelt is the right word, but like poignant, emotional,
Mm,
more human than not just being edgy for edgy's sake. And
Yeah.
so I remember liking the ending of the movie, but this was also many years ago that I watched this. So I don't know if that thought holds up. And yeah, it's not one that I'm like particularly interested in rewatching anytime soon. So yeah.
Yeah. I feel like part of me is almost like, man, I maybe I should have picked it for this, but also I think it's okay not to have. I think,
No, this was a better way to dip your
yeah,
toes in. Uh, yeah, and if it's not your thing, then you're probably fine. You'll be fine.
yeah,
You don't need to see Irreversible.
yeah,
You don't need to. There's how many thousands of movies are you never going to see in your life? You'll be fine not seeing Irreversible. It's
yeah.
fine.
Thank you, Shane.
it's it's not that good that you need to endure
Uh,
that horrible scene. Anyway, so Gaspar, a little bit of a maybe a disappointing episode, an interesting episode at the very least.
I will say there's a
Um,
lot going on in these things. So like I feel like I can understand the desire to put Gaspar in the cup. So I don't blame you here.
yeah, I was, and in my head it was perfect. Enter the Void. I loved Enter the Void, and then Climax. I've been meaning to rewatch, but ended up being a little bit disappointed on the rewatch. But that's okay. Funny enough, this podcast, I feel like I'm reiterating points a lot, kind of like Enter the Void with him repeating scenes and beating the dead horse on the same plot points.
This is the immersive experience where we're
Yeah.
actually, yeah, we're subliminally showing you a piece of the movie here. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's like to watch the movie. All right. I mean, I guess we're done with the episode. Should we do the category cup?
I think so. Category cup time. Here we go.
Awesome. All right. I
This
got the category cup here. You're gonna say something?
I was just gonna say while you're getting ready to pull it, this is one of our favorite times. I think we, if anyone doesn't know yet, these main episodes that we do, we always pick a random. Shane's gonna try to get Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man.
We always pick a random category from this cup that we put a bunch of categories in a long time ago, and this includes things like decades, directors, actors, genres, all sorts of different stuff, locations, whatever. So we
Yep.
always are excited to pick one, and then we pick our next movies right here. So
Yeah.
let's see
And
how it
this will be
goes.
our episode in 2 weeks. So, subscribe on YouTube, on the podcast apps, etc. And check out our letterbox. It's Mind Your Movies, all one word. We're on Letterboxd. You can find our personal accounts linked in the bio there. So check it out. We appreciate you guys following. I'm picking out of the cup. My eyes are closed. You can see on the YouTube.
I'm kind of hoping for like Giallo or something right now.
Here we go. And wow. Less than 1,000 views on Letterboxd.
That's insane.
Less than 1,000
That's
views on Letterboxd. Very little.
less than 1,000. I mean, that's even hard to find. I got to go to watch list and go to least viewed or something.
That is extremely hard to find. We're almost certainly going to have an edit point
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah.
Because this is going to take a little bit of research. But I will say, I think Dark Tresor might have been part of the influence of this. Which,
Yeah.
if anyone doesn't know, Dark Tresor, we found a movie that had 0 logs on Letterboxd, and it was on Tubi,
To be.
and we watched it, and it was an amateur production, and I think we didn't really like it very much, but we were like the first people to the two of us and one of our roommates. Was it just
Yeah.
one? Yeah.
Yeah.
uh we were the first like 3 people to watch Dark Tresor, potentially not in the world. I'm sure the person who made it saw it.
Yeah.
They're just not
first
on
people
Letterboxd.
first people to log it on Letterboxd, and I think that's definitely part of the inspiration here. It is kind of neat to find those things that are almost unseen.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess we should stick with feature length films, probably.
Probably, or at least like close to. I mean, what technically
40
counts?
minutes.
Oh, that's it. Then yeah, we should probably stick with at least that. Um,
That's the Academy like minimum
I
for
didn't know that.
length, 40 minutes, yeah. So I'm looking at the films I've rated, because if
Oh,
you
interesting.
sort them by your rating,
Hmm.
then it shows all your 5 stars, but it sorts within the 5 stars, it sorts by popularity.
Oh, okay. And we're back. That was a long. It turns out
That took
finding
forever.
movies that less than 1,000 people have logged on Letterboxd is actually this is surprising. It's kind of a hard task.
Extremely difficult.
Actually, though, it's not really that hard. The problem is finding ones that you want to watch that are under 1,000.
Yes, there's
There's
plenty of stuff. But how many of
um,
them are interesting? Turns out it's hard to find them. But we
but
found two that we think might be good, but neither of us have seen either one. Do you want
I'm
to do yours
actually
first?
I'm actually kind of excited for mine too, to be honest. This is called Blood on the Stars. This is a Welsh movie from 1975, directed by Will Aaron. It's 60 minutes long. It says a school choir do their best to ensure that local celebrities hired to appear at a concert don't make it to the stage and slaughter anyone they believe is getting in their way. So sounds pretty bonkers. And I think both of us have never seen a Welsh movie before. Neither of us have seen a Welsh movie before, so that's kind of cool. At
No, at
least not
least
that.
not in the Welsh language for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
So that'll be
that should
neat.
be
This is streamable on Shutter and Hoopla. If you have either of those, Hoopla is one of those free library services. So if you don't have a library card yet, this is your time.
yeah.
You can also rent it on YouTube. It looks like, and there might be other ways. Also, if you have purchased from Saravan the volume 2 of All the Haunts Be Ours, show off a little physical media real quick. It's in here. So if you have this, excellent. If not, you can stream it, which is cool too.
Which is what I'll be doing. My choice is Fast Break from 1979. It's a basketball movie starring Gabe Kaplan, and also Bernard King is in it, which is pretty cool. It's on Tubi, and you can also rent it on, you know, all the places maybe not all the places, but some of the places you can rent movies. It's available. You can look out for it. But yeah, Fast Break from 1979, directed by Jack Smite. Yeah, this actually is one of Bill Simmons' like favorite movies. There's in his like studio, there's always like a poster of Fast Break in the background. So this is a movie I've kind of always wanted to see. And I will say one of the reviews on Letterboxd mentions something about Paul Thomas Anderson watching this movie and then wanting to buy cut off jean shorts. So perhaps Paul Thomas Anderson also likes the movie. So I think there's potential for this to be good. And it's
Interesting.
basketball, so that's good. And what was the last thing I want to say? Oh yeah, this one has 924 views on Letterboxd, so just snuck in under the wire. And by the time the episode's out, it could be over 1,000. Who knows? But right now it's not. So that's what we're doing. Fast break and
Yeah.
Blood on the Stars. So I think we're going Blood on the Fast Break.
Yeah, sure. Not the best portmanteau we've ever done, but
Yeah, Fast on the Stars. Fast Break on the Stars.
also,
Blah, blast, steak.
I said this out loud. You didn't like
did,
it.
did, did you say blast steak?
Yeah. I
Or
think I
we
said blast on the steak.
Oh,
Which
blast on the
is
steak. That's a little. All right, we'll stick with Blood on the Fast Break. Well,
also, this is kind of a redemption. I don't know if you noticed this, Shane, but I picked a horror movie that I've never seen. You picked a basketball
basket
movie you've never
oh,
seen. And
college episode.
in our college episode, we did a
Oh,
similar thing and we were pretty disappointed. So this is a redemption moment. These are going to be these are going to be good.
At least you're able to see our personal taste in these episodes of what we gravitate towards, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, hopefully these ones are better.
Yeah, I think they will be. I've got some hope here for these two. I think under 1,000 is tough, but
Yeah.
there's bound
And
to be
we
some gems.
and we tried to stay away from like short films because I don't know if that'd be enough to talk about. If we each pick two, then it's just a lot of movies. I don't know. So I think it makes sense we picked feature length movies. But yeah. All right. Is that it for this episode?
That is it, I believe.
Cool.
So yeah,
Thank you all for watching. Like I said, I think I said it before, follow us on YouTube, on the podcast apps. We're on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. We're on Letterboxd, Mind Your Movies, all one word. Catch up next week. Next week, we're either covering Predator Badlands or we're going to do a fun Nic Cage November tier list thing. If we do Predator Badlands, the Nic Cage one will come a few weeks down the line toward the end of November. But either way, this month we're getting a Nic Cage November celebratory episode. And then the week after our next episode will be Blood on the Fast Break, aka the Detroit Pistons. And with that being said, don't forget to mind your movies.